I went through a difficult time in my life for a while, working at a job that didn't please me every day. In addition to demanding co-workers and a tumultuous relationship, I had to deal with other individuals, instructing me what and what not to do in this scenario. To be honest, I felt quite bad about everything since I knew I was about to lose control over my life. Every day felt like a struggle that would never end, like if I were at my lowest. One day, while idly perusing YouTube, I came across an intriguing video called How Stoicism Can Transform Your Life, which was inspired by a book written by modern philosopher Ryan Holiday. It was then that I came upon Stoicism, for which I am incredibly thankful. Unexpectedly, I started reading different books, learning more about the topic, and applying its ideas to my everyday life. That's when things started to alter in my life. I read more than a dozen books on the subject because I was so enthralled with this idea that I wanted to spread it to other people. The changes were amazing. Inner serenity and tranquility replaced feelings of stress and anxiety. My decisions became clearer and more consistent with my morals and principles. Above all, I started to discover more significance in everyday life. I now want to discuss with you how Stoicism can be a catalyst for life change. Let's examine the tenets of this philosophy and consider their applicability in the modern era. We'll also talk about how these ideas might serve as a useful roadmap for overcoming the difficulty of reconstructing a life that is more meaningful. So, if you're ready to embark on this journey of self-discovery and metamorphosis through the practice of Stoicism, I cordially invite you to join me at the end of this video. It will undoubtedly rank among this channel's most insightful lectures. Let's begin with my initiation into Stoicism, which will serve as a lighthouse for me in the shadows of my life. Taking in the wisdom of great Stoic thinkers like Epictetus, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius and Zeno, I entered a world of incredible insight. To put it briefly, Stoicism is a philosophical path that emphasizes developing virtue, insight, and self-control. Its basic idea is that even though things outside of our control happen, we still have control over how we react and see things. This gives us a powerful tool to handle the many obstacles we face in life. A crucial component of Stoicism is learning to distinguish between things that are under our control, like events outside of our control and other people's opinions, and those that are outside of it, like our thoughts, actions, and decisions. The wisdom of focusing our efforts on areas where we can make a difference, rather than the unchangeable, is imparted by Stoicism. That being said, this philosophy goes beyond simple conceptualization. It provides us with concrete strategies for day-to-day living, supporting us in managing stress, anxiety, and depression, making decisions, and pursuing lasting and true happiness. We will explore the core principles of Stoicism and how to put them into practice throughout this video. We will discuss the importance of values, such as virtue, fortitude, acceptance, and acting in accordance with our basic beliefs. This film offers insightful lessons and insights for everyone who has ever been overburdened by life's responsibilities, pondered over how to maintain composure in the face of chaos, or looked for doable steps to better their lot in life. The secret to a fresh start in life and the door to a deeper, more fulfilling life may lie in Stoicism, but it's crucial to keep in mind that this philosophy is only meant to serve as a guide and source of guidance. You are the one who needs to do the actual action. No ideology can totally change you. You must participate in this process of change. Remember to subscribe to the channel and enable notifications so you can stay up to date on the insightful advice I'll be giving you along the way to becoming a true Stoic. Together, let's explore how this age-old yet incredibly applicable philosophy can transform our lives, just as it did mine. Consider what it would be like to be able to push a reset button and begin your life afresh. Would you take it on? It's not necessary to forget or ignore your history in order to start over. Actually, it's about taking in the knowledge gained from life events and applying it to create a more promising and better future. We learned from Marcus Aurelius that obstacles eventually become the path. As he stated, take the next step. That is all that is required of you. You are unstoppable. It requires skill to start over and strike a balance between growing from mistakes and moving on with optimism restored. Our responses to circumstances are reflections of who we are. If we believe that the world is hostile, we take a defensive stance. However, if we treat it with care, love will be reflected in our deeds. Stoicism pushes us to examine and modify how we view the world, to view reality clearly and objectively rather than through the lens of unchecked emotion. Seneca observed that we frequently experience greater suffering in our minds than in actuality. Suffering can occasionally be brought on by events that are hypothetical or have only occurred in our imaginations. What if we viewed each challenge as a chance to better ourselves? Genuine Stoics see obstacles as spiritual exercises rather than as predetermined outcomes. This may pave a different route and advance us beyond our current state. They inspire us to view challenges as opportunities for development, reminding us that, in the same way that fire purifies gold, adversity perfects strong people, making us stronger and better every day. This is why I consider myself a Stoic. Everything that we encounter in life has the power to ultimately define who we are. This is the reason Stoicism is so wonderful and applicable today. Marcus Aurelius was not sharing his words with the world in his meditations. Rather, they were his innermost thoughts, which serve as a daily reminder to live a genuine and purposeful life. They demonstrate how important it is for us to have an ongoing conversation with ourselves. We have to be our own buddies as a result. Not that we don't need company. Rather, I'm suggesting that we should cherish our own company wherever we are and pursue our own happiness independent of other people. The biggest temptation is often being dependent on the happiness of others. Understanding the fleeting nature of all things, including happiness, suffering, success and failure, Stoicism teaches us to live detached lives in which we cherish important moments but are always prepared to let them pass. Epictetus serves as a reminder that everything has a price. Decide what is important and be prepared to let go of the rest. Even if it is difficult, the Stoic path is incredibly fulfilling. It teaches us to cherish who we are, persevere through adversity, and lead meaningful lives. Although it can be difficult, silently handling disrespect or other difficult situations is necessary for a happy existence. Living in harmony, not just with the outside world, but also with our inner selves, is emphasized by Stoicism. Am I acting in accordance with my true desires and principles, or am I just reacting to expectations from others? Is a question you should ask yourself. Recall that our lives are shaped by our thoughts and that we are all continuously changing. We frequently forget who we really are in an effort to appease people and earn approval from them. Stoicism encourages us to value who we are on the inside, regardless of what other people think. True freedom is not being subjugated to the will of others, as Epictetus once stated. Stated differently, the secret to becoming a new you is within. Resigning and accepting are not the same thing. It involves acting sensibly and realizing reality. While acknowledging that there are things outside of our control, acceptance entails continuing to have control over how we respond to these things. It's about choosing how to respond to reality after realizing what it is. We learn to dance in the rain instead of waiting for the storm to pass. The only real time we have is right now. The future is unclear and the past is but a memory. Now is where true power is found. We become caught in a vicious cycle when we worry about the future or focus on the past, instead of paying attention to the present that is happening right in front of us. The Stoics were not merely talkers, they actually lived their philosophy, continuously seeking to better understand and develop. How would we like to be remembered? According to Stoicism, our legacy is defined by our deeds, not merely by our words. The moments that leave us speechless define our life, not the quantity of breaths we take. Recalling the power of silence, both mental and external, is essential in a society where people frequently try to use us. We discover purpose, clarity, and a closer relationship with ourselves in solitude. We are able to think, rest, and concentrate on what matters in this area. By heeding Epictetus's counsel to "don't explain your philosophy, embody it," we come to understand that often the key to progress is letting go of the things that hold us back, whether they be ingrained grudges or antiquated self-perceptions. We are given the freedom to strive for our actual potential via Stoicism. Our ability to think happy depends critically on the caliber of our thoughts. Valuing virtue, the expression of goodness in our deeds, involves acting with honesty, kindness, and integrity more than wealth, power, or prestige. It is necessary for us to consider the virtues we are pursuing on our path. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it on trivialities, as Zeno of Citium reminds us. Life is full of inescapable difficulties that we cannot avoid, yet Stoicism teaches us that what matters most is not what happens to us, but rather how we react to it. Avoid wasting time on insignificant things. Always strive to change, for it is from this change that a new you may appear. Don't pass up this chance if you're having fun with it. Get the ebook, Stoicism in the 21st Century, Ancient Strategies for Modern Challenges. Right now, to enhance your relationships, unlock prosperity, and have enough. In the pinned comment, a link. Every obstacle presents a chance for development, strengthening, and learning. In life, it's not about avoiding wounds, but not surrendering to them, as Epictetus stated. The future appeared to be full with possibilities when we were younger. Why does it feel like nothing is working now then? It can be a turning point to evaluate your efforts and determine what worked and what didn't. But as is sometimes the case on excursions, a gloom came upon me. Once a rare haven from the chaos of the outside world, alcohol is now a daily need. It made my nights darker and my days darker. I discovered that I was drinking on a regular basis and that all of the relationships and connections around me were predicated only on the presence of alcohol. I lost my sense of happiness, and the connections I held dear started to fall apart. At the peak of this self-destructive cycle, I was first introduced to Stoicism through the film that was referenced at the opening of this book. That's when I understood the true nature of Stoicism. With that video, I decided to change and embrace Stoicism as my way of living, ushering in a new chapter in my life. I hope that this book serves as the beginning of your new journey. Comment, "I will be a new person," along with the current date. Now is the perfect time to begin a rejuvenation. Seneca spoke of the imprisoning power of unbridled passions, and I thought about how alcoholism had taken over my life and how I had put myself in a similar situation. I started down the path to sobriety after being inspired by the teachings of Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and other Stoic thinkers. I gained knowledge about the value of exercising self-control, being resilient in the face of difficulty, and realizing that, although we are powerless over external events and people's opinions. We do have the ability to manage how we react to them so that they don't negatively impact us. Many years have passed since this pivotal moment, and I've moved past the old me. I am thankful every day that I came across Stoicism at that pivotal time. I finished 2 years without drinking 4 months ago because I made the decision to be different, to change. How long will you wait to make a difference, you? I learned to appreciate life, overcome obstacles with courage, and discover true freedom from this concept. My life is no longer controlled by alcohol. Instead, I am the captain of my own purpose and clarity. My goal now is to impart all of these lessons to you. The path hasn't always been simple, but the Stoic teachings have helped me go through my darkest and most trying moments. Here are some ideas for strengthening your abilities and implementing transformative techniques in your day-to-day activities. Applying them from now, or better yet, right now, will set you up for total rejuvenation and a purposeful, clear future. 1. Morning reflection. Time. Set aside some time every morning to practice meditation. Think back on your experiences from the day before and picture the day you wish to have, mentally getting ready for obstacles and remaining composed under pressure. 2. Gratitude journal. List 3 items each day in your journal for which you are thankful. This makes it easier to see the good things in life and to enjoy the little things. 3. Frequent exercise. Take part in frequent physical activity. A healthy body was important to Stoics, whether it came from running, yoga, strolling, or any other activity you enjoyed. 4. Principle of control. Keep in mind the Stoic principle of recognizing what you can and cannot control when faced with obstacles. Then, concentrate on making informed judgments and accepting with serenity what is out of your control. 5. Self-discipline. Develop self-control over your finances, eating habits, and time management. Establish reasonable objectives and make steady progress toward them. 6. Nightly. Self-assessment. Consider your day's activities before turning in for the night. Evaluate your actions in light of your values and the Stoic principles, noting any shortcomings and making plans for the future. 7. Studying inspirational examples. Read about the lives of people who exemplify Stoic principles, such Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, and take inspiration from their teachings. 8. Detachment from other people's opinions. Try not to worry too much about what other people may think. Make an effort to live by your own morals and ideals. 9. Awareness of life's impermanence. Keep in mind that death is inevitable and use this knowledge to inspire worth in life and deliberate decision-making. 10. Skill development. Make time for acquiring new or enhanced abilities. Stoicism emphasizes personal development since it boosts one's courage to take on new difficulties. 11. Embracing the uncontrollable. Understand that, unless you decide otherwise, nothing bad can happen to you. Embracing the unpredictable lessens anxiety. 12. Appreciating authenticity in relationships. Look for sincere, mutually beneficial connections built on moral principles. 13. Reading philosophical texts. Every day. Make it a habit to read books by Stoic writers or other philosophers every day. Consider their lessons and how they could apply to your own life. 14. Mortality. Pondering. Make time to reflect on your own mortality. This will help you put everyday worries in perspective and appreciate the time you have left. 15. Fostering positive self-respect. Rather than using self-judgment as an excuse for things beyond your control, approach obstacles with self-compassion and motivation. 16. Altruism and community involvement. Find methods to assist others without anticipating anything in return, since this will bolster a feeling of fulfillment and purpose. Recall that while Stoicism doesn't guarantee instant improvements and necessitates continuous practice, with time, these techniques can completely shift your outlook on life. When faced with difficulties, keep in mind that the way is the obstacle. Seek opportunities for learning and growth in difficult situations, keep your impulses and emotions in check, and develop emotional self-control. Establish appropriate boundaries, exercise empathy, and restrain bad urges to maintain your mental and emotional well-being.